Well, we've all been there before. You just want to throw your hands up in the air and say, y'all, I am done.
Yeah.
You are totally burned out at work or maybe at home and you just need a break. Well, as we work to live a better life today, we are talking about 3 ways that you can avoid burnout, not only in your work life, but in your personal life before it happens. Leadership training expert Valerie Sokolosky is here with more details, and you always have the best advice, so I cannot wait to hear what you have to say today.
And I want your stories too.
Okay, so burnout, it happens, you can't avoid it, but you can prepare for it.
You can prepare for it.
Because it's going to happen to everybody, right?
Oh, of course. In today's world, oh my goodness. In fact, there was a research study done just recently where they took 1,500 people, and out of those 1,500 people, 70% said, I am just totally stressed out.
I know, and
You know,
we
it's
live our
sad.
lives like that so much. Okay, so you have 3 quick tips on how we can avoid burnout in work and personal. What's the first tip?
The first one is to the leaders.
Okay.
You know, it's got to start at the top. How many leaders at the organizations that you know go on vacation and they are still totally attached? The cell phone, the beeper, the whatever. And I found this really interesting recently when I went on vacation, and I could not be, Susie knows this, I could not be attached because in the mountains I couldn't get cell service. And you know, life went on.
Yeah.
It was really something that said
And I think,
yeah, right.
I think a lot of it too is the attitude of the leaders. You know, if you see that they're burnout in their job,
Yes.
then it doesn't make you want to work hard for them because you're like, well, they don't care. Why should I care?
Yeah, and you think that's the expectation.
Right.
So leaders, you know, get a life yourself first.
Exactly.
I was working with an executive client in the coaching part of my business recently, and here's what he said. He said, I do go home, and I do not take, for the most part, work home, because if I did, it would eat me up.
Yeah, you'd never get anything done.
No, that's right.
Okay, so your next tip is to prioritize.
Prioritize
So
what
does that
you're
mean like
going
make a to-do list of like, these things are critical to do, these things aren't? What do you mean by that? Because I feel like we can, what's the value of a priority, you know?
Well, first of all, I know this may sound really bad, but it's the truth. If you're working in a company today, just recognize what's important is what important people think is important.
Right.
So that means your priority, first of all, has to be what the boss says you need to get done. The have-to-dos, not the need-to-dos.
Right.
Don't get caught up in the others. And I wrote actually in my book, I do a lot of work with women as well, and one of the issues we know is balance of life and work. Now, honestly, is there such a thing as complete balance? No, not 50-50. But balancing on life's high wires, if you don't make choices and say at certain times at the workday to someone, I can't do it right now.
And saying no to people is okay.
And saying no is
I think as women,
okay.
we don't think it's okay. We think if we say no to somebody, we're going to disappoint them. But then we end up disappointing ourselves because we run ourselves thin.
And use the word and. I'm sorry I can't meet the deadline you just asked me to, and I'll get working on it and I can have it to you by. Will that work for you?
Always so many great tips from you. And we can get a copy of your book. Where can
You
we get a
can.
copy? Anywhere books are sold? Yes.
No, unfortunately not.
We can get it on your website?
My website or Amazon for sure.
Such great tips, obviously. Monday Morning Leadership for Women, and you have so many chock full of great advice.
Thank you, and I will say that if anyone wants a survey that was recently done to let me know, it's done by, I wrote it down, Department of Health and Human Services has a report out on all this thing about stress.
Yes.
And it's a good one.
Because stress, boundaries, prioritizing leadership, they all go hand in hand. And
they do.
Hopefully we won't burn out. We got to start our Mondays strong. So
That's
thank
right.
you for such great tips.
You're welcome.
Valerie has so much more advice on this topic. She'd love to talk to you about it. So you can check her out online by going to our website. That's thebroadcasttv.com. Click on today's links. Okay, we are going to be back with some final thoughts right after this to wrap up our Monday morning here on the broadcast. Stay tuned.
Oh, look at that.
This is great.